Okay. I was just informed by the members of the junior choir that it's 7:30. Time is of the essence, especially when you're surrounded by so much cuteness. We have the cuteness of the junior choir. We have the cuteness of the fourth graders. This is a wonderful evening and so fabulous to be back together. Before we begin our service, just a quick moment to thank our fourth grade teachers who are wonderful. I will be naming you by name in a little bit, but I wanted to let our fourth graders have their moment of cuteness. And I wanted to give you the ground rules for the moment of cuteness, which is be present in the moment. Do not whip out your cell phones and start taking videos, because we have the most wonderful videographer taking wonderful videos much better than you can with your phones. Trust me on that. And you can go to YouTube and get the video of your child later tonight. So just be here, be with Shabbat. Don't worry about your cell phones. We gotcha. And even if we don't gotcha, you'll be fully present here watching your child, not through a lens, really seeing your child. Okay, so without further ado, before the service begins, we are going to have the most magnificent fourth graders present their sermon for the evening.
Hello, my name is Shiloh, and my favorite prayer is the Avot V'Imahot. I like it because we're inheriting God's favor, also because it gives us goodness and faith. And we get to say thank you.
My name is Holly, and my favorite prayer is the Vayikra. I like this prayer because I've known it ever since I started going to Tofila.
Shalom, my name is Ellie. My favorite prayer is the Mikal Mocha. I like it because there are so many different melodies. Everyone can like one.
Shalom, everyone. My name is Alexis Fine, and my favorite prayer is the Vayikra. I like it because I will lead it at my bat mitzvah, and maybe my awesome brother Evan will teach it to me to lead it.
Lila Tov. My name is Shay. My favorite prayer is the Shema. I like it because it reminds me specifically of my grandparents and my family.
My name is Genevieve. My favorite prayer is the Shema. I like it because it reminds me of spending time with my dad when I was little and spending time with my family.
My name is Evan. My favorite prayer is the Shema, since I've known it since I started Hebrew school.
Hi, my name is Logan, and my favorite prayer is the Shema. I like it because I know it, and it was the first prayer that I know.
Hello, my name is Dylan. My favorite prayer is the Miha Malka. I like it because it's an easier one for me.
Hello, my name is Ari, and my favorite prayer is the Givurot. I like the Givurot because it means to heal the sick, to heal people in need, and to free the captured. That's why I like the prayer. Thank you.
My name is Beverly. My favorite prayer is the Avot V'Imahot because I like the melody, and it was one of the first prayers I learned in the 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Ellie. My favorite prayer is Shema. I like it because it reminds me of my family and friends.
Hi, my name is Maeve. My favorite prayer is the Shema. I like this prayer because I like the meaning that we have one God.
Hi, my name is Calvin, and my favorite prayer is the Avot V'Imahot because it means peace in the world and acts of love and kindness.
Shalom, my name is Miriam.
My favorite prayer is the Shema. I like it because it is not too boring and has an okay melody. We also sing it at all services.
Okay, that was our wonderful fourth graders, and we can say to them, Yasher Koach, well done. We are going to begin our Shabbat service with our junior choir singing Hey Venu, Shalom Aleichem. But Terry, before you begin, one of our fourth graders is a ringer. She's coming in to sing, and we're going to begin. Now that she has her seat, we can begin. It is my pleasure to invite to the bima to sanctify our Shabbat candles one of our wonderful fourth grade Hebrew teachers, Susie Rothschild.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu mitzvah.
Melech?
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Yashikar. And we continue on page 28 with the singing of Baruch Hu. Will the congregation please rise? And we remain standing. We're going to go right into the Shema, which can be found on pages 34 and 35.
Deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Adonai Eloheinu
Please be seated. We continue on page 36 with Vayikra.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al mavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'nivarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'levtecha v'aderech u'v'shokpecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liyot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. Let's read together. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We continue on page 40 with Mi Chamocha. In 6 days, God created the world, and on the seventh day, God rested. And it is said that more than the Jews have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. We continue with Vishamru, which can be found in our Sidurim, in our prayer books, on page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We come now to our Congregational Tofila, and it is my pleasure to invite all the fourth graders and their teachers back to the Bima to lead us in Avot V'Imahot. Oh, good question. We are on page 46. Will the congregation please rise?
Actually, you can also find it on page 46. Page 46?
Yeah, page 46.
No,
Wait,
I'm doing
hi.
it on 2.
Oh, this is Adonai.
Yeah. 46.
Adonai Sefatitita Ufia Itahilatecha. Adonai Sefatitita Ufia Itahilatecha. Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanorah El Elyon Gomer Hasadim Tovim V'Gomer Ha'akol V'Zocher Ha'Se'avot V'Imahot U'Mefiru L'Pnei V'neihem L'Ma Shalom Le'Ahara Melech Lozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham V'Ezra Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Meitim Rafa Yoshia Mashiach Geshem Mechayei Vahim B'Chesed Mechayei Meitim B'Rachamim So Magnofli V'Ohed V'Olim Umatir Asurim U'Mechayei Nemato Lishenei Afa Michamocha V'Agivurot U'Midom Elah Melech Meli Tu'Echayem U'Masir Yeshua Baruch Atah Adonai Melech HaMeitim Adonai Amen. Thank you.
we continue in our prayer book with the singing of O Say Shalom, which can be found on page 62. We come now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah. I'm going to take the Torah from the Ark, and the entire 4th grade class is going to follow me as I make the hakafah, we proceed around the sanctuary with the Torah. I'm going to ask 2 things. The first is that we stay standing right where we are. In the olden days, we used to touch the Torah with the Siddur, and then we kiss the Torah. Let's just wait. That'll be the last custom that we have that will come back. It will come back, I promise. But in the meantime, just stay right where you are. The second thing is after the 4th graders come back from our hakafah, they will go back to their seats, and I will unroll the Torah, and we will read from the Torah. So at this time, I am going to ask everyone to please rise as we take the Torah into the sanctuary.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omer, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omer, HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
Please be seated. Okay. Well, this Shabbat is the beginning of our reading from the 3rd book of the Torah, which is Leviticus. And Leviticus, the way we remember Leviticus is it has the same letter as laws, because there's a lot of laws in Leviticus. And it primarily deals with the responsibilities of the priests. And this and next week's Torah portion is going to focus on the many offerings to be brought to the newly constructed Mishkan or tabernacle. It begins with God calling Moses into the Mishkan, where he will be taught many mitzvot, many commandments, many laws that will be passed on to the Jewish people. The first half of the Torah portion describes sacrifices brought by individuals, and the second half of the portion discusses the required offerings to be brought in case you made a mistake. But you can follow along with this week's Torah portion, starting on page 585 in the Eitz Chaim commentaries, the Chumashim, the large maroon books found either underneath your seat or underneath the seat in front of you. Ya'amod Yehoshua ben Ephraim v'Shoshana la'aliyah ha'Torah.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayikra el Moshe vayedaber Adonai elav. Me'ohel moed lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael va'amarta alehem. Adam ki akriv mikem kirban ladonai. Min habehema, min habakar, umin hatzon. Takrivu et korbantchem im al olah korbano. Min habakar, zachar tmamim. Vayikra venu el petach ohel moed. Vayikra oto lirtzono lifnei Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chai olam natai b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to our families and those of our community who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Elwood Frederick Bryan, Gary Tatiner, Kristen Nystro, Mark Zellman, Jim Hines, Cheryl Hildebrand, Richard Vane, Lila Roshowski, Arthur Lang, Cheryl Ball, Heather Borzak, John Eulenberg, Franny Ein, Evan Georgie, Karen Mullen-Koski, Rhonda Rhodes, Dick McLean, David Menikoff, Quince Newman, Stacia Thyman, Brooke Ann Gottesman, Carol Pretmar, Bridget Stern, Robin Channon, Jim Berry, Joy Rosenthal, Rusty Taylor, Alice Agris, Kurt Johnson, Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, Avraham ben Natan Vasara, Lauren Vane, Ashley Sloan, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Mick's family, Jean Maynard, Len Schultzman, Jacqueline Sullivan, Charlotte Wolfenstein, Julie Melvin, Joy Rosenthal, and all others who suffer whom we know not by name. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech v'Rapeh et Kol Cholei Yisrael v'Yishlach lahem b'mheira refuah shlema refuah tanefesh refuah taguf v'nomar Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say,
Visheberach Avotenu Mikor HaBaracha That's our blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracham lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Ya'amod Moshe ben Yirmiyahu v'Yona Hagba, Ta'amod Gila bat Yehoshua Golelet. Will the congregation please rise?
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Please be seated. The prayer for America and the state of Israel can be found on page 258 and 259. It is my pleasure to invite to the Bima to lead us in those prayers, Tracy and Max Schoenberg.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with their fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, sha'od ka lavad habira nevod.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and may our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Whoops.
We continue on page 256 as we rise as one congregation while we return the Torah to the ark.
Eitz chaim hila machazikim b'tomcheha meushar. Eitz chaim hila machazikim b'tomcheha meushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Please be seated. Well, our fourth graders already gave the most wonderful sermon. I mean, who could top talking about why they love their favorite prayer? I can't top that. I'm not even going to try. But I do want to give a little wisdom, just a little wisdom for Shabbat, because it has been 2 years since March 11th, the day the world seemed to have shut down. And here we are 2 years later, still kind of masked, but earlier we had a meal together. Wasn't that fun? Yeah, it was really awesome. The last normal time these kids had together was 2 years ago in second grade, and so it was good for them to be together. So I thought of this story might be fun to learn a little bit about life. See, there was this old story about these poor little porcupines. You know what porcupines are, right? They have those really sharp quills, right? And the way they stay away from predators is they shoot their predators with their porcupine quills, but then the quills grow back. The problem is, one winter, it was really dire cold. And they decided to group together to stay warm. But soon, the quills of each one of them would wound their closest companion, the person sitting next to them. And after a while, they decided that it was too painful to be together, so they were going to go their own way. But the problem was, when they were alone, they started to freeze, and they understood if they didn't find warmth, they were all going to die. So they had to choose. Either they had to accept the sharp quills of their companions, or they were going to perish from the earth. Wisely, the porcupines decided to come back together. They learned to live with the little wounds that were caused by the close relationships from their companions, but the heat that came from the others warmed them and allowed them to survive. Hebrew teachers and Judaica teachers, thank you for all of the service that you give to us, for giving our wonderful students, these fabulous fourth graders, the normalcy that you've provided for them this past year. Susie Rothschild and Gail Cresswell, these kids led us in Avot V'Imahot so beautifully because of your Hebrew tutoring, teaching, and Tracy Schoenberg and Steve Friedman because of your Judaica studies with the kids. We are so truly grateful to all of you for all that you've done. This is the future of the Jewish people. And I'd say, it's hard to believe this, but in 2.5 short years, this will be the B'nai Mitzvah class. Wow, right? Sobering, I know. They're getting their date next year, just saying. But thank you, teachers, for these wonderful kids and all that you give to us. And of course, to our very own principal extraordinaire, Marla Friedman, for being the wonderful principal that she is, and for planning our Shabbaton this evening. Just a quick reminder, students are invited to wear costumes to Hebrew school on Sunday because it's going to be our Purim celebration in the religious school. But next Wednesday night, boy, are we going to have some fun in here. So please come next Wednesday night as well. Can't tell you what we're going to be, but I've heard it's going to be a rockin' good time. All the kids that come in costume get chocolate, and all the adults get wine. But you got to show your driver's license because we don't know if you're really over 21. And now it is my pleasure to invite the president of our congregation to offer a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for celebrating Shabbat with us tonight. I'm Jacob Cinnamon Murphy, and I'm honored to share our announcements with you this evening. Thank you to the fourth grade class and the junior choir for leading services, and thank you to our ushers, Martha Titiner and Esther Cinnamon Murphy, and our greeter, Susanna Sawyer. We have so many wonderful things happening, so bear with me while I share a snapshot. Believe me, this is like the longest one I've ever gotten. Celebrating Purim with Eitz Chaim. Pick up your Purim goodie bag. We have complimentary bags for all members available for pickup between Sunday, March 13th at the school event through Wednesday, March 16th, the Purim service and spiel. For those who cannot attend, please ask someone to pick up your bag for you, but if necessary, we will arrange for your bag to be delivered. Following religious school on Sunday, the students are invited to a special Purim variety show here in the sanctuary. Parents are welcome to observe from the back. Join us here for our Purim service and spiel Wednesday, March 16th, dressed in your costume. And of course, this service is geared for all ages. Our congregational retreat is coming up at Rui on April 1st to 3rd, and we only have a few spots left. Sign up this weekend to ensure your spot to learn about Jewish superheroes of song, comedy, food, Torah, art, literature, history, and our own superheroes of Eitz Chaim. Tomorrow morning is our weekly Torah study via Zoom with Rabbi Koznowski. Sunday, in addition to picking up your Mishloach Manot, the Purim goodie bag, we have our temple tailgate beginning at 9:15 for free bagels and coffee. You can bring your small electronics for recycling, pick up an item or two from the Sisterhood gift shop, and explore our Lost and Found, which will be on display. All items left in the Lost and Found on March 16th will be donated. Next Friday night, our Shabbat service will begin at 7:30 p.m. and will be led in part by the 6th grade class for their Shabbaton. Starting March 14th, the CEC COVID Task Force has updated the mask policy. It will now be masks recommended. For all the details on each event, check out our weekly happenings email. Shabbat Shalom.
I also want to give a very special shout out to our song leader, Cindy Michelasi, and our junior choir conductor, Terry Shapiro. Thank you for your service to our community as well and for helping us sound as wonderful as we do. It is my pleasure to invite all the 4th grade students to the Bima to open our ark and to have another moment of cuteness while we rise for Aleinu, which can be found at the bottom of page 282. Sure, come on up. Bring your books, come on up. Go ahead and hold the ark open sideways. 282.
Aleinu l'shapeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר
At this time in our worship service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and whose yortzeit we commemorate this Shabbat. We remember with love Ralph Helfman, grandfather of Lynn Sullivan, Gail Kalish, aunt of Michael Field, Paul Nyland, father of Michael Nyland, Patsy Shursky, mother of Deborah Shudroff, Regina Bell, cousin of Rachel Yackley, Max Micknick, grandfather of Eileen Landau, Celeste Nees, grandmother of Kara Kapp, Leonard Sokol, father of Howard Sokol, Arthur Whitkov, father of Harold Whitkov, Dorothy Levine, mother of Muriel Finkel, Ruth Stengel, mother of Toby Weber, Edith Zweig, stepmother of Marcia McCrae, James Caulfield, father of Anne Merman, Raymond Feldman, father of Lawrence Feldman, Harry Mandel, grandfather of Craig Mandel, Toby Mintz, mother of Dan Mintz, Madeline Schwechter, aunt of Carol Nymark, Nathan Sosno, father of David Sosno, Eugene Foray, brother-in-law of Leah Notaris, Joan Harris, grandmother of Jacob Cinnamon Murphy, Nicola Jaraga, grandfather of Jabrovka Jaraga, Beverly Weiner, grandmother of Rabbi Jessica Weiner, Bernard Joseph Ruby, father of Barbara Hedrick, Miriam Saywitz, mother of Ann Coffey and Janet Simons. We mourn the recent passing of Kathy Minardi, friend of Cindy Swanson, and Suzanne Weiskopf, mother of Jim Weiskopf. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we recite Kadisha tome, The Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294. Will the congregation please rise? Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalal uvizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen.
V'imru, Amen. V'imru, Amen. V'imru, Amen. V'imru, Amen.
We remain standing as we conclude with our concluding song, Or Zarua, which can be found on page 343.
Or Zarua,
On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, and worth in our study of Torah. Mazal Tov to our fourth graders, their families, and our teachers. Shabbat Shalom. And now let us do Kiddush and Motzi before we go into our oneg so we can go in and enjoy. We sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon. B'tei avon, everyone, let's go into the social hall for our oneg.